This video presents the instructions of the experiment on risk and time. Welcome. The experiment lasts 1 hour with the following parts. Instructions are given by this video. Watch it carefully. You will then have comprehension and practice questions. Then starts the main part of the experiment. You will receive €5 for your participation, and you will have the possibility to receive an additional payment. At the end of the session, a question from the experiment will be randomly selected and played for real. This will give you the possibility to receive an additional payment up to €100, depending on your answer and on chance. General principles. There is no right nor wrong answers. We only want to observe your preferences. The experimenter will stay with you during the whole session. Do not hesitate to ask for help or clarifications at any time. Here is an example of question. You have to choose between two options, option A, on the top of the screen, and option B, on the bottom of the screen. Option A and option B are both lotteries with a probability of 50% to receive €100 in 6 months and 1 day from now, and a 50% probability to receive nothing. In this experiment, the payments of lotteries are always received in 6 months and 1 day from now. The difference between option A and option B is when the lottery will be played. With option A, the lottery would be played tomorrow. Therefore, with this option, you would know tomorrow if you will receive €100 or not. With option B, the lottery would be played in 6 months from now. Therefore, if you choose this lottery, you would have to wait for 6 months before knowing if €100 will be received or not. In this second example, option A gives €50 for sure. Option B gives a probability of 50% to get €100 and a probability of 50% to get nothing. Option B would be played tomorrow. Therefore, with option B, you would know tomorrow if you would receive €100 or not. In this case, the main difference between the two options is that option A offers a gain for sure, whereas option B is risky. Here is a third example. Option A gives €50 for sure. Option B gives a probability of 50% to get €100 and a probability of 50% to get nothing. In this question, option B would be played in 6 months from now. Therefore, with option B, you would have to wait for 6 months in order to know if you would receive €100. In this example, the main difference between the two options is that option A offers a gain for sure, whereas option B is risky and played later. For all the questions, the payment of lotteries, if any, will be received in 6 months and 1 day from today. For each question, you should check the amounts offered by option A and by option B, the probabilities of option A and option B, when option A and option B are played. The experiment contains a lot of questions, and questions are grouped in lists. In example 1, we can consider several different questions by changing the probability of option A. In this question, the probability of option A is 5%. In this other question, the probability of option A is 10%. In this other question, the probability of option A is 15%, and so on. Overall, 19 questions can be derived from this example. These questions constitute a list of questions. Within a list, option B is fixed, and option A varies. All the questions from the lists can be selected for real payment. Consider example 2. A list of 19 questions can also be considered by changing the amount given by option A. In this question, option A offers €5 for sure. In this second question, option A offers €10, and so on. You need to answer all the questions from the lists. A procedure guides you through the questions of the list and fastens the completion of the lists. Suppose that you prefer option A, when it gives 50 euros. In this case, we would know that you would also prefer option A, when it gives more than 50 euros, and the answer to these questions can be completed automatically. However, we still need to observe your choice when option A offers less than 50 euros. When a list has been completed, you must check and confirm all the questions from the list. As an example, suppose the following choices. Now the list has been completed, a slider appears to review all the questions from the list. Remember that all the questions from the list can be selected for real payment. You can play the slider to review the questions. For each question, the chosen option, that to be played if the question is selected for real payment at the end of the experiment, is highlighted in green. At this stage, you can still change your answer if needed. When all the questions have been reviewed, the confirmation button appears. Note that after confirmation, you are moved to the next list of questions and you can no longer change your answers. Summary. Questions are grouped in lists. All the questions from the lists can be played for real. A procedure guides you through the questions of the lists. When a list is completed, you must check all the choices from the list before confirmation. Before confirmation, you can change your answers. After confirmation, you can no longer change your answers. Additional payment. Selection of a question. One question will be randomly chosen and played for real. At the beginning of the experiment, you will randomly draw numbers that designate a question from the experiment. All the questions from the experiment have the same chance to be selected. When completing the experiment, you will not know which question has been selected. At the end of the experiment, you will discover which question has been selected at the beginning of the experiment. We will look at the answer given to this question during the experiment. The option selected for this question during the experiment will be played for real. You will not have the possibility to change your answer. Because you do not know which question will be played for real, it is in your best interest to give sincere answers to all the questions. Playing and paying the selected lottery. Playing the lottery, depending on the payment timing, tomorrow or in 6 months, we will organize a Skype or FaceTime session. The lottery will be played by drawing a ball from a bingo cage. You can also schedule an appointment at the lab if you prefer to be physically present. Payment. If the bingo draw results in a gain, you will receive the payment by PayPal, sent in 6 months from now and received 1 day after. You can also come to the lab and get the money in cash if you prefer. Guarantee. In any case, you will leave the session today with a voucher that specifies the question that will be played for real and when it is going to be played. You will also have the name and the full address of the researchers in charge of the experiment, who guarantee that the chosen question will really be played and paid.